everybody, I'm Cheryl Kahn. Hurricane season's here once again, and while we always hope for the best, we need to be ready for whatever comes our way. Here are some of the things we're doing to prepare. After a hurricane, tempers sometimes flare.
I got a boat in my driveway. You have a boat?
And city workers have to deal with some very frustrated residents.
I don't care.
Fortunately, this scenario was simulated, all part of an annual hurricane drill designed to give workers a taste of what they could be facing as hurricane season gets underway.
This is a little bit extreme. However, during Irma, for instance, we caught it Treemageddon, and we did have a lot of roads that were blocked by very big, large trees and a lot of debris.
The very first of the first responders on scenes like this one are often public works crews charged with clearing branches and debris from the streets so fire engines and ambulances can get through. They have to work fast, especially in a case like the one depicted here, with a car buried under branches and down power lines.
We got a tree that's on a vehicle. I'm going to take a further look to see if anyone is inside the vehicle.
So many things to think about, so much to do, and in a real-life situation, they'll often be working long hours in the rain or under the hot South Florida sun on very little sleep. That's one reason why getting in some practice before an actual emergency occurs is so important.
So if they do it wrong, I mean, it would be could be loss of life, loss of limbs. So it's very important and imperative that we share with them and show them why they need to do it right. And it's absolutely critical that we give them all the tools that they need to be able to successfully carry out the duties that they were charged with.
During this drill, supervisors kept an eye on what went well and what needs improvement, from the condition of the chainsaws they were using.
The chainsaws, we noticed that I think both blades were dull.
To the dealings with the city employees turned actors who were playing the part of irate residents.
There are going to be people that will come into an unsafe zone, immediately call PD.
The workers will continue practicing their skills and getting even more feedback from their supervisors. The Emergency Operations Center is always activated during hurricanes, and those who've been assigned to ride out the storm at the EOC have been participating in their own drills. City workers who will be staffing the Emergency Operations Center when it's activated took part in a very realistic drill.
You gave it to them?
Yes.
Okay.
To make them aware of it?
All right.
The EOC is housed in Fire Station 5, but you won't see only firefighters here when a hurricane's about to hit. During an emergency, just about everyone's considered a first responder, including administrators and directors of Public Works, Parks and Rec, the library, and Housing and Community Development departments.
Human Services, how can I help you?
Their jobs at the EOC have different titles and responsibilities.
It's kind of a lot to think about, but we have to do it now so that we can be prepared for when the real thing comes.
During the drill, they're given scenarios to play out in real time. They have to know what to do, who to call, and how to prioritize those tasks.
This is basically building the relationships in here now so that when we need to respond, we know who to talk to, we know how to get things done quickly so we can get the city back up and running.
A call center will direct help to residents and visitors who need it.
Just hang tight and we'll get someone out there as soon as we can. All right?
Technology will be a big help to those who are out in the field. Police, firefighters, and others will be able to report incidents electronically, and what they report will show up here.
They have a tablet and a phone on the trucks. They can actually take pictures and report incidents back into here so we know what's going on out there right away.
The system is just one of the upgrades made to the EOC over the past few years. Since those who are assigned to ride out the storm here could spend multiple days and nights in the building, there's a kitchen, some rudimentary sleeping quarters, and showers with backup generators keeping the lights on. And with the busy hurricane season expected this year, those improvements are also expected to be very much appreciated by those who will be on duty for the duration of the hurricane. But it's not just city workers who need to get ready. Since you live where hurricanes happen, it's time to make your plans too.
Well, the first thing is if you're in an evacuation zone, make sure you know what zone you're in, because when we give the evacuation orders, whether it's A, B, or C, you want to make sure that you clear out of that area, take all your important things with you, your important documents, of course, your medications. anything that you really are going to need for the next couple days. When you go to a shelter, the reason why you might want to go there is because you really don't have anywhere else to go. We tell people when they evacuate from their zone, if they can stay with family or friends, that's the best idea, as long as it's inland and out of the evacuation zone. The second best idea is probably a shelter if that's what you want to do. Just as a reminder, when it comes to shelters, shelters are for mass amount of people. So you're not going to have a lot of privacy there. You're going to get usually a cot, you're going to get a small area to store your things, but you're not going to be able to bring a lot of stuff with you. If you bring your pets to a non-pet friendly shelter, they may turn you away. So you just got to be cognizant of that. One of the other things is we have some shelters in the county that are for people who have disabilities. You want to make sure you pre-register for that now as well. That way when you get there, there's no delay.
If you haven't done so already, it's very important to assemble a hurricane kit. Here's what you need. Cash because ATMs may not work, a cell phone and car charger, drinking water, 1 gallon per person per day for a minimum of 3 days, prescription medicine, a 2-week supply, batteries, 2 spare sets for each device, flashlights, battery-operated AM/FM radio, a manually operated can opener, a first aid book and kit including bandages, antiseptic, tape, compresses, and aspirin, gasoline and oil for a generator and car, and fuel for an outdoor grill, water purification kit, a 3-day supply of non-perishable foods, pet foods and supplies, baby supplies including medicine, sterile water, diapers, formula, baby food and bottles, disposable plates, cups, bowls, and utensils, and cleanup supplies like mops, brooms, buckets, towels, sponges, rags, and disinfectant. You should also take a good look outside around your home to see to it that you've done everything you can to make things safe.
If you have someone that is a professional, they can come and take a look at it and tell you like, hey, this type of tree should be trimmed back like this. Or if you just see the trees are overgrown, hanging on somebody else's property, or potentially hanging in the road where it may break off or something like that, that should give you an indicator that you want to trim it back.
Trimming trees and bushes and making sure that what you've cut down is picked up for disposal is critical. The city's Public Works Department asks that you place things like branches and vegetation into separate piles for pickup at the curb. Using plastic bags is not advised before and after storms.
Stuff like the bags or whatever that may have debris in it, if you had that just loosely, you would just put that with the other vegetative debris. So then what will happen is it will speed the process up as we're coming down your street.
Leaving cut down vegetation and debris on your property can be dangerous, as can leaving lawn furniture and other unsecured items outside during a storm. They can blow around, damaging property and even causing injuries. When you're making plans to keep your family safe, don't forget your pets. They need a plan too, as do the animals at the zoo and on farms and ranches. If you love your pets, and we're sure you do, you'll want to make sure they're safe in the event of a hurricane. That means including them in your hurricane preparations. Make sure your pets' vaccinations are up to date. They'll need to be if they have to be boarded or stay in a shelter. Microchip your pet if you haven't already, and make sure their ID tags are current. Prepare a pet emergency kit with food, water, medication, and other supplies. Make sure you know where the pet-friendly hotels are in case you need to evacuate. The same goes for a shelter that takes pets, and sign up for it early on. Space is limited and they fill up quickly. At Peggy Adams Animal Rescue League, the dogs and cats in residence there are included in a comprehensive hurricane plan. The buildings here are built to withstand hurricanes, and staff members do stay on and ride them out with the animals.
We also have plenty of stockpiles of food, water, things like that. So if we were to get hit by a hurricane, our pets are still going to be able to be fed, walked, cared for, etc.
At the Palm Beach Zoo, the plans are a little more complicated, as the zoo has a larger variety of animals, including cats that are a lot bigger than the ones you'll find at Peggy Adams.
Once a storm is close to us, then it's time to move everybody to their hurricane habitats. What a lot of people don't realize is that our animals choose to go into those habitats. For example, our Florida flamingos are trained to walk calmly to their hurricane ride-out shelter.
Bottom line, plan ahead, make sure everything's secure and everyone's accounted for before, during, and after the storm. And of course, for more information on how to get ready, you can visit wpb.org/hurricane. Stay safe, everybody.